You know what? Silence isn't golden, not when the quiet is inspired by indifference. That is what was happening in the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community in Washington, D.C. Violent crimes were not being reported because it was perceived that the police department didn't care. It would not follow up on the reports. This is the story of how the D.C. Metropolitan Police learned to protect and defend a community that feared the cops more than their attackers.
The soul of a plan, how it moves every man, every woman to be free, to see the woods through the trees, all the people at their best. So speak your mind.
For those of you that don't know me, my name's Brett Parson. I'm in charge of a unit called the Gay and Lesbian Liaison Unit. If you want to ask a question about the gay and lesbian community, and the only phrase or term you can think of to ask your damn question is say get over it. All right? We'll clean it up later. We'll give you the right term. My God, it's 8:30 in the morning and you already said this is really ridiculous. Meanwhile, the editor back there's going beep, beep, beep. I ain't going on PBS. All right.
With open minds, it senses the good above the rest.
DC was woefully behind in the number of hate crimes that were being reported. I mean, to the point that there were hundreds being reported in Maryland and Virginia, and 2 were reported in 1998 by the District of Columbia. And no matter who you asked, whether they were gay or straight or black or white or Republican or Democrat, everybody agreed something was wrong there.
Spengler, how can I help you?
The gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community have often had a position of being as afraid of those who are supposed to protect them as they are of the people who are committing crimes against them in the community.
We have this unit because a lot of crimes go unreported in the gay community.
And so people have actually left from clubs, been beaten, gone home, and not reported. You know, because it's much easier to do that than to be a victim, and then on top of it to be victimized again within the police department.
To me, this sums up what a hate crime really is. Matt is no longer with us today because the men who killed him learned to hate. Somehow and somewhere, they received the message that the lives of gay people are not as worthy of respect, dignity, and honor as the lives of other people. Take that word gay. Pull it out of there. Get rid of the word gay, and you put whatever word you want to describe yourself. They're invisible minorities. Some of you are stupid. Some of you are bad at sports. Some of you are a particular religion and don't wear it outwardly. We're all minorities in some way. And so substitute that word. Somehow and somewhere they receive the message that the lives of black people are not as worthy. Somehow and somewhere they learn that the lives of women, that the lives of Latinos, that the lives of Catholics, that the lives of Jews, that the lives of retarded people, disabled people, whatever you want. That's what a hate crime is.
It wasn't until 1999 when 2 lesbian officers on our police department actually took the bull by the horns and wrote a proposal. And their focus in that proposal was really on 2 things: training and education, and on outreach.
I'm Matt. I'm with the Gay and Lesbian Liaison DC Police Department.
Brett. Yeah, my sergeant.
Okay. In June of 2001, we really added that 3rd element to our mission, which was the law enforcement element.
This guy was assaulted. He claims that the security beat him up really bad. He came to
We actually are able to work very closely with the police when an incident does occur.
It's been our launching pad. It's given us credibility. It's given us credibility in the community. It's given us credibility in law enforcement. It's given us credibility with other agencies around the country who have looked at us and said, you know what? This isn't just some foofy window dressing, pass out brochures, sing kumbaya. They're actually doing police work.
There was a homicide that happened about a month ago, 3000 block of 14th Street Northwest.
Volunteers from the community, real live gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, and allied people work hand in hand with these police officers each and every day. And that also legitimizes this unit as being in the community for you and with you.
Hello. Welcome. What can I do for
Sterling
you?
Spangler is the Gay and Lesbian Liaison Unit's Director of Volunteer Services. His uncle was a police officer in Utah, and he was killed in the line of duty. And Sterling felt that he wanted to do something in his uncle's memory, but Sterling didn't want to become a cop.
Thanks so much.
He's a graphic designer, he's a computer guy.
We do deal with any type of domestic violence and have responded to heterosexual domestic violence, roommate domestic violence situations.
I thought that it was just going to be temporary. All they wanted me to do was design a logo for them. That would take me a month, and then I would say goodbye. And here we are. It's amazing how much the outreach has expanded over the last 5 years, from just having a logo and a magnet and maybe a calendar poster and of course a website, to having a full staff of volunteers that go to events that actually interact with the public.
Hey guys.
Hi. Hey, hi, how you doing? Officer
From the Gay and Lesbian Liaison Unit, DC Police Department.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
And I believe that, you know, most police officers would say that that kind of community policing and that kind of engagement from citizens is what helps police to be successful.
I'll tell you something though. I refuse to eat a donut at work. Everybody says, look at the police officers going to get the donut.
So Georgette's working the midnight tour. She happens to be awake. She's monitoring traffic on New York Avenue, and all of a sudden a vehicle being driven by Jen blows through the light at New York and Bladensburg Road. Georgette puts down the donut, the coffee. She says, I get to use the lights. This is great. Let me show you how we do it. You blew that red light. And the driver of that vehicle hands Georgette what appears to be a valid, legitimate DC driver's license. Georgette looks down at that driver's license. It's a man. It says Bob, and under sex, there's an M. Go ahead and show me what they taught you to do under these circumstances, Georgette. Go ahead. That's it, Georgette just laughed. That's usually our first reaction when it's something we don't know what to do, right? She said, What were you trained? You weren't, were you? Wait a second. Biologically this, looking like this, doesn't fit. What do you call him? You call him Bob? What do you call him? Bobina. You call them whatever they want to be called. You say, excuse me, how do you wish that I refer to you? What name do you use? What do people call you? Rather than guess. They may say Bobina, they may say Betty, they may say, you know what? Bob's just fine with me. They call him Bob. Whatever they want. Make them feel comfortable.
Comedy is a good approach, I think.
Very enlightening. It's new to me.
If I was to think of a gay officer, it would not be someone of that stature.
He doesn't look like the stereotypical, but it's great.
You don't want to intentionally or unintentionally make someone uncomfortable. It's best that you you know the information so that you can protect yourself and your job status.
We are not here to teach you manners. We are not here to change your beliefs. What we're here to do is give you tools to actually deal with this community. Real live information that you can go out onto the street and go, that's what I meant. That's what that symbol means. This is how I can ask this question and actually get an answer back that could be useful to me in writing this investigation up. And so I think the obstacle we had initially was, all right, is this just going to be the usual run-of-the-mill bullet we just have to go through? Or is this really going to make an impact on my job?
Bye. See you next time. All right. Be good. All right. See you later.
A lot of things that I learned about the gay community, I had no idea even existed prior to working for this unit, and I'm glad I know it, and I think it makes me a better person. It makes me more of a people person. It makes me be able to deal with different groups a lot better.
We're actually patrol officers. Currently, we're assigned to a tactical unit. We answer for calls for service as well as we investigate any kind of property crime, violent assaults, drug crimes.
We had an incident where there was a man who had been assaulted. He was intoxicated and he really didn't want to cooperate with us. I assumed, based on his candor of who he was, that someone from the GLLU would be helpful to us in investigating the situation. They came out and talked to him and seemed to have a much better rapport with him than myself.
Any kind of call we have, not only ones that involve the gay and lesbian community, but any kind of call. Sergeant Parsons and his members, they also respond to normal calls for service as well.
It's helpful to have the gay and lesbian liaison unit on call 24 hours, so they're always willing to respond.
As an openly gay police officer on the department, to be able to join a unit, the Gay and Lesbian Liaison Unit, and actually police in the community in which I'm involved, you know, is a great reward for me.
And the volume is what's amazing to me, is that when we started this out, I won't say we were like the Maytag repairman sitting there just waiting, but every week an officer is on call. Those officers know that within that week, they're going to be responding to calls for domestic violence, into sexual assaults of transgender street sex workers, investigating hate crimes where people are attacked and have bottles and rocks thrown at them at closing time outside of a gay bar. They're going to be responding to people's homes where graffiti has been sprayed on the fence, die fags, get out of our neighborhoods. They're going to be responding to things that everyday police officers may see once or twice in their career. It's what we see day in and day out. Each and every day, more and more calls come in, and it's because each and every day we were building trust, building a reputation of legitimacy within the community and within our fellow law enforcement community.
We're doing good policing, and we're doing good education, and we're doing good sensitivity training, and as a result we have a safer community and people are less likely to commit those crimes.